Good evening and welcome to Side-Eye in the City. I'm your host, Tamika. Hey, everybody. Hello, all zero viewers. We are kicking ass. How are you? I am here this week with Miss Sunny. Hey, Sunny, how you doing?
I'm good, and you? How you doing?
I am good, and we are as popular as ever.
Right. We're in these streets.
So, what is new with you? How's things been since your move?
Uh, this is the first weekend I can actually sit down and
Okay.
enjoy, but then I look around and it's chaos, so we're still in progress.
Right, right. I feel you. Yeah, today, this week was, well, we're going into spring break next week at the school, so I had to get all my grades and stuff submitted this week. So, yeah, it was
Fun
interesting.
stuff.
Fun
The
times.
joy of education.
So, let us get rolling. I think since two of our members are not here, we're going to put off our reading of Kindred yet again till next week. I promise we're going to talk about that book. We're going to talk about that book. But we're going to put it off again until we can have, a quorum, I guess, present.
Yeah, because
But
I didn't.
tell the truth and shame the devil. Is that what they say? And speaking of, you had a little truth for us about a certain Reverend Dr. Bishop.
Creflo. Mr. Creflo Dollar is in need, y'all, and he needs your help. He needs donations, approximately $60 million, so he can work, send out that good word of Jesus, and do so in class
To help the poor. Is he helping the poor? Is he starting up like a school
to
or
make sure
something?
that when he spreads the word of Jesus, he looks good doing so, and gets there fast. You feel me? So
And how might he be doing that?
I don't know, girl, but he needs a private jet, bless his heart. And it's gonna be 60 million, so let's get our GoFundMe's ready for Creflo. Forget those who
Wait,
are
I'm gonna need you to back up and say that again. Pastor Creflo needs $60 million for what now?
well, let me give you the gist. He needs a new jet, so he's asking for donations, and I'm assuming Rev is looking for this so he can spread that good word of the good book and Jesus and whatnot to all of us, and he has to do it in style, I guess. So to all y'all who are out here struggling, don't worry about that. Just donate to Creflo. You'll be all right. No, it's sad that,
Okay.
they get a lot of slack and flack for doing all of these different things and asking for all these donations. Sometimes you would think they would think twice before they would ask for material items and not focus on the whole purpose of why they have their platform. It's actually really, it's a joke. It's sad. And if anyone donates, I don't know why the hell you would do that, because you know what's really sad? You see a lot of people who attend these churches, and I've actually been to Creflo's church before. You got people that are faithful followers, and they'll go to these churches, and the bad part about it is they believe that their tithing is going to put them in a better place in space. But if you're using dollars to do miscellaneous things, and these people are barely making it in their vehicles, let alone worrying about a jet, it just really breaks my heart that these are the highlights of his ministry. Because I've watched his ministry, and I've gone to his church, and I think that he could really speak something differently and also put money towards what really affects us as community.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, as someone who, as recently as last week, put $600 that I didn't have into a car that I
that'll
hate,
work. That'll
Creflo,
work.
you're gonna have to work it out.
Right? Figured out the best he can.
That is
So,
right. Yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, wait, what? So
and
yeah, apparently they are. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, because it's just sad. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just sad.
Well, I mean, and again, I don't pretend to know what Reverend, is it Reverend Dollar? Whatever, Mr. Dollar is thinking. I don't pretend to know that. But apparently, I guess they have to replace the private jet that they already have. Which I don't know if I can fly Spirit. I don't know why they can't fly Spirit, but whatever. But when I saw that article asking for, I think it was $300 from 200,000 people.
Right.
Is this one of those fake news stories? Like, this can't be real, but yeah, apparently it is. So, sorry, Reverend Dr. Bishop Dollar, you get no cash from me.
Amen.
Sorry.
Amen. So on that note,
however, I do have a beat up Dodge Stratus you can have,
Yeah.
You got it.
But you know what? Let that be a lesson to congregations, to these mega churches, that they remember the reality of, yes, it's good to do your 10%, but make sure that those activities and building funds and things of that are funded by the church and not taken to use for, because we all know that's going to be a gain at the end. So,
right. And I mean, I'm no disrespect to the members of his church and his believers, but this, I think, is ridiculous. So
gotta do better.
Yes, exactly.
So we wish you well, Creflo. And we pray that
good luck, Reverend Dollar. And anybody that has $300 for him, you can feel free to send them to me because I need a car. See, I don't even need a whole plane. I just need a car.
Exactly. The simple things in life.
I'm thinking whole car. 2013, 2014. Hey.
He needs it all. But what do you do? What do you do? And the sad part is, to piggyback onto the whole GoFundMe, we got to be careful about these GoFundMes because they're getting a little out of control as far as people. I was listening to a podcast and this young lady wanted to go to the Las Vegas Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight. So she put up a GoFundMe and actually got them over the amount of money that she had asked for so she could go to the fight.
People funded it?
Granted, she didn't ask to get a ticket to the fight. She just wanted to be out there in the ambiance of it all and made her goal. So with this whole GoFundMe, maybe that's what you need to do, Tamika. Put you out a GoFundMe and say, I need a new ride. I'll let you, girl.
Well, we'll let Pastor Dollar do his first because we would not want him to be deprived of a $60 million plane. I would feel terrible if I took donations for his brand new G6. I would just feel awful. I couldn't live with myself. So we'll let him go first, and then any charity left over, feel free to get me a car with all 4 wheels instead of 3.
That'll work.
So let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Now, we're going to have to get serious for a minute.
Okay.
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. So if you're not sitting down, I'm going to need you to sit down. Okay. So, if you were thinking about pledging SAE, I hate to inform you, sweetheart, but it's not for you.
I can hang from a tree, but I cannot pledge SAE. The world we live in.
That's why I message with you. So yes, this week in Frat Boys Gone Absolutely Freaking Crazy. The members of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon, I think I said that right. Yep, Sigma Alpha Epsilon, were filmed gleefully and joyfully singing about how they do not admit African American members. Of course, they didn't actually say African American. They used that word that certain people think that it's unfair that they can't use, so they use it anyway and just pretend that they don't. That word. So yeah, they were filmed, apparently unknowingly, although I don't see how, on a bus, dressed in formal wear. Apparently, I think they were going to their something at their country club, some kind of frat event or something at the country club, and they were filmed singing about how there will, quote, there will never be a nigger SAE. And then the song goes on to say how you can hang them from a tree, but he'll never sign with me. You can never be a nigger SAE. So, sorry to say, Miss Sunny, I know you had your hopes pinned on being an SAE. So, sorry to take the wind out of your sails, girl.
Yeah.
But, apparently, it's not for you.
My kind cannot pledge SAE. Heartbroken.
So, if you want to speak to us about your heartbreak and your true we are here for you.
This is something that's been going on for years. It just now got hit with the vibe.
Because it has. Because it has been going on for years.
Had it not been for them getting hit with that little video, they'd still be making up rap songs and a whole other, and it's I'm actually, I guess the good thing about it is when it did hit, I think how OU handled it, I think was pretty good. They could have done something totally different, they could have went a whole other direction, but from what I gathered and what I saw, it seemed like they shut down the fraternity at OU and took the steps needed. It sucks that we have to deal with this still in 2015, but I guess now we need to start seeing that, before you pull out your cell phone, start recording. Think twice, because you may be suspicious. How about
before you think about hanging niggers at the top of your lungs?
Oh, they're not going to change that, though. We got to be realistic. That song will never change. You'll just sing it somewhere else. But just don't let us find out.
I mean, apparently, according to Miss Mika Brzezinski, who did an interview on Joe Scarborough, I think it was, on MSNBC, according to her, it's Waka Flocka Flame's fault that they were singing that song.
Girl.
Because Waka Flocka is known to use the N-word in his lyrics. So clearly, he taught the SAE frat members to sing about how they want to lynch niggers who want to be in their fraternity.
I listened to Waka a few times out of the year. I don't ever remember him having a song about lynchings. I don't.
I would be willing to bet my next 4 paychecks and my raggedy car that song has been around before Waka Flocka was a flame. Okay? That song dates all of us. I'm pretty sure that song was probably sang at their inaugural meeting where they first became a fraternity back at University of Alabama during, I want to say, the Civil War. So
I'm gonna say Waka had nothing to do with that.
I'm gonna back you on that one. I don't I don't buy that one at all. But apparently there is a contingent who generally believes that because rappers say the N-word in their songs, that they are the ones who are teaching overprivileged white frat boys to sing about lynching us.
Oh, girl. Well, I like rap, and again, I just haven't heard Nas, Jay, or even the old school hit me with no lynching. I'm just trying to figure that one out. That one's a tough one.
You and me both, girl.
You know what it is? It comes down to the reality of they did something inappropriate. Now we got to do some PR. We got to do some fixing. We got to Olivia Pope it, and they're just trying to figure it out. But the reality is you just can't fix it. You just have to. I think you have to have the conversation, deal with it, and discipline accordingly. There's just no excuse for the behavior. And if a rapper who has not attended OU influences you that much then hun bun, I don't think you need to be going to OU or any university or college. And get that
Right.
damn down. That you're highly
Right.
influenced by Waka Flocka Flame. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the university did. They acted proactively and they did act, pretty fast. However, to my knowledge, only 2 of the guys so far have been suspended, and there were way more than 2 people singing on that video. So.
Oh yeah, they were in harmony with some others, but at least they did something. I just feel like we're just at a point where we're seeing very little done for these actions. So maybe I'm just at a point where I just take wins when I can take them, and maybe that's sad that I've come to that point. But I think we've been hit so much.
But this kind of leads me into another topic. Okay, just taking what you can get, and I'm gonna kind of segue into what happened in Ferguson, and how there were no civil rights charges for Wilson, but the DOJ did come out with this scathing report talking about how basically the entire law enforcement in the city had been for years generally just targeting black people
Right.
for the purpose of making money. So all the stuff that the demonstrators and the protesters were angry about, turns out it was true. So I guess in the spirit of just, taking the wins you can get, like I feel like I admit to being disappointed that Wilson isn't going to be charged with any sort of civil rights violation. Like I don't see how you can gun down a teenager in the street and not violate his civil rights. I don't understand that. And I have seen some of the explanations, and they do make sense in your head, but it does not feel right that nobody is going to be held accountable for that young man's death. I can't wrap my mind around that, or my heart around that anyway, even if I can't understand it academically. So I don't know, I feel like we're splitting the win on that, and I kind of feel like this OU thing with the SAE brothers is sort of the same thing. It's like, okay, you suspended 2 of the guys, but that was a bus full of kids, a bus full. So in my mind, all the asses need to go. But that's just me. Like I feel like you're right. Like I feel like that might be as good as we can get, is those 2 kind of taking the fall for everybody else, and the rest of them get to go on their merry little racist way and become senators and cops and judges, and one day, let their fellow officers off for killing black kids. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about that?
I think and I have to say this based on just me thinking and how I'm conditioned to think nowadays. I'm just like taking whatever we can take, because I feel like it's a win, and it saddens me that I even think that way, because I feel like there's so much more from civil rights, and I'm like, we should be doing so much more. We should be receiving so much more respect, and it's just like I get so angry at the fact that, like, say for instance, you get a young man who is African American, has a full ride scholarship, and he's the man on campus. If one young lady calls rape, that's the end of everything for him. He goes to jail, he loses everything he has, and if they do come back and say, oh, it was not rape, it was a false accusation, he gains absolutely nothing from that. Let that
happen. Break it up. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I lost you. You know what? Do you have headphones? Try plugging your headphones in, because I keep losing your audio. I'm going to put mine in, too.
And I'll try to get to my point.
Stand by, audience. One moment, please.
Technical difficulties. Okay.
Yeah, your camera's kind of tilted, though. I'm just getting, like, your nose. Okay, there you are.
So, no, I was just saying, say if a young man has an issue, maybe African American male goes out there to college, is the man on campus, gets one accusation of a rape charge, he loses everything. Say if they come back and say, oh, that charge was false, it was falsely accused, etc. He still has lost everything. There's no comeback from that. For anything that, we'll say Caucasian students, same case could happen. Same thing could happen. He still is going to make it okay. Or let's say he doesn't have false accusations. He's still going to come out and still be okay. He'll just fix it, hide it, and he'll move forward. And it's so sad that this whole OU thing, it just opens your eyes to if an African American group would have done something like that, oh, done deal. Got to get them off campus. They're bad name, bad PR. Like, we just can't tolerate that. But this SAU, they'll come back and they'll flourish, and then people will be more excited to join them. So it's sad.
I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, and it, like, another thing that strikes me with this whole SAE thing is, like, how, and again, this is a media thing, this happens all the time, is how the media frames it as these kids who made a mistake, or they had too much to drink and they made a bad decision. But they're kids.
And
but Michael Brown, who's the same age, actually who's younger than them, he's a grown man and a danger. Like, you see that parallel? Like, that's real. That bothers me every time I see it. And every news outlet, every major news outlet that I've seen that's reported on it, all frames it as these kids who did something bad. These poor kids, as if they are not grown adults in college doing something despicable. And think about lynching, for no less. Like, I'm even willing to give them nigger. They can have it. They can scream nigger all day long. But when you start singing songs about lynching people, come on. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Like, to me, it's a mistake that they got caught, but this betrays a legacy. You know, this speaks to how that organization runs, and that's a problem. That's not a mistake by some kids. That is a history of racism and possible violence by some grown-ass people who need to be punished.
I agree.
Period.
I agree.
So, yeah, but I agree. There is definitely a double standard. I have no doubt that if those were black fraternity members caught singing a song about lynching white people, all of them would be out, and they would probably be in jail. So,
most definitely. Most definitely. There wouldn't be a house. There wouldn't be anything. Hell, they barely have houses now. So
no.
That's up one time.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
The wrong way. One good time. It's over. So it's just, it's sad where we live in society. And I think about my family members who are going into college that are 18 and they're still young adults. And it's just like, they make so many excuses. Like, what if they have done some form of, I don't know, I'm not going to say hazing, but what would you call it? Like, aggravating others based on them being minorities. We don't know what all they've done. This could just be just scratching the surface of something, you know. So it's sad, but again, we live in a different era and a different time, and they'll be back next year. That'll be the interesting is to see what next year will be like for them. Exactly. And how their organization nationally will support them.
Right. Yeah. I'm interested to see how long it'll take before SAE is back on that campus.
Right. The donors will roll in.
They will be back. Right.
They'll get the $60 million jet before Creflo.
Right. So let's move on to some other side-eye worthy foolishness. Let's see. Okay, so go away, SAE. Go away. All right. So, do you want to talk about? Let's see. Okay, so I have two options here. You want to talk about the NYPD and what despicable thing they are doing lately? Or would you want to talk about Amber Rose and slut-shaming in hip-hop? Take your pick. Pick a card, any card.
Oh, this is tough. I feel like let's be intellectuals and discuss NYPD first, and then we'll go to the dark side of it all.
Okay. All right. So, NYPD. So, there have been some changes. Well, first of all, you know how Wikipedia works, right? Like, basically, it's the online encyclopedia. Anybody can edit it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, Eric Garner and Sean Bell have Wikipedia pages, and they are African-American men who were killed recently by the NYPD in their series of unrelated killings of unarmed black men. Side-eye of that. So, apparently, there have been some edits to the wiki page which frame the wiki articles as more sympathetic to the NYPD and placing more culpability on the victims, the young men, the dead men. Turns out that after some investigation, those edits were traced back to the NYPD. So apparently the NYPD is editing the wiki pages of these victims of police killings to make themselves look less culpable. So, thoughts? Right.
It doesn't surprise me.
Remember, we could have been talking about Amber Rose, so.
Like, you know what? This doesn't surprise me, and what's so sad about the situation is we're going to probably see a lot more. So this is what scares me about Wiki. People have the opportunity to add, take away, put in, say things that, it's just kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that. I mean, this one, it leaves you speechless in a sense, because it's just tarnishing the whole situation even more. You know, they're not being held accountable for anything ever, and now that you're seeing how they're changing what actually happened, it makes you, it's scary almost. It's almost like I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch Scandal last week, but did you watch it? Because I don't want to spoil it.
This week, no. No,
last week. The week before, when they did
last week with the young man who was killed. Yeah, I did see that one.
So it makes you think, you know, what else did they change, you know,
right,
to cover up and make themselves look better in the light. So I don't know. This one, it may seem like something very small to some people, but to me it means something very big, because most people, and young people especially, consume media and what they learn from the internet. So because someone's out here changing truths and things of that nature so easily, it makes you wonder 5 years from now, what is it going to read? Is who's really the vicious person in the whole situation?
Right.
What's your thoughts? Because I can't. I don't know.
Well, I mean, first of all, I find it utterly despicable. I can't help but think that there is a special place in hell for somebody who, whether they want to say it was accident or not, but someone who caused the death of another person, and then to turn around and blame that person, it's despicable. There's no defending that. Like, whoever changed those pages, you're an awful, awful human being, and something terrible should happen to you. Like, it's despicable. I can't even imagine anybody that would do that. And so that's my first thought. Secondly, like, okay, the scary part about this, besides the fact that somebody is just so callous as to do that, is that the only reason anybody has heard of these young men, the only reason anybody even gave a damn about what happened in Ferguson, is because people raised hell. So, like, because we're talking about it right now and we keep talking about it, that's what made people care. That's what made the Department of Justice get involved. It's the story that we're telling right now. So, I agree. A few years from now, when the spotlight is on something else, and we've quote unquote achieved this post-racial America, then what's going to be left is what's on things like Wikipedia. So basically, they're able to change and erase history. And that is incredibly messed up. That's really, really messed up. Like,
I
okay,
agree.
these men are gone. They're dead. They can't say what happened to them. And so you literally have their killers framing the story of their killing. It's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. It is absolutely insane. And that scares me. Because the edit that they did to Eric Garner's page, and he's the man who died in the chokehold. He's the one who said, I can't breathe. And they kept choking him. So the wording on his page said that he originally said that he died in a chokehold. Well, some asshole at the NYPD took it upon themselves to change it to he died of respiratory distress. The hell is that?
Chokehold.
Really? Exactly. But for somebody who's right, exactly. But for somebody who's new to it, say somebody who's like a child now, who's not even in the discussion, but 5 years from now they're a teenager and they're looking up Eric Garner. What are they going to see? He died of respiratory distress. Not he died because, 6 officers piled on top of him and choked him to death.
Exactly.
They're not going to see that. And that's the fucked up part. I'm sorry. Forgive my language. But that's messed up.
It's true. and it's, I mean, I think, like, with Wikipedia, there should be some form of restrictions, especially on things of this nature. There has to be some point where, I don't know, and that's what I've always never understood about Wikipedia, because at what point does it become false? Does that make sense? If a book is written, it's written word that stays in history. I feel like this is like going back to the oral traditions where the story changes and you never really know the truth. So I'm not a fan of Wiki. I don't really rely on that one. Because I feel like it's just too much access for someone else to tell a story, and I feel like it's not accurate information.
Right. Well, I mean, I teach sort of the wiki in my class, and it's all monitored by basically people who just have a vested interest in that page. So, and I'm assuming that's who caught the edits and was like, what? It's basically like people who are just interested in authenticity and in accuracy are sort of policing the page. Sort of, that's not a good word given the circumstances, but like who are sort of watching, right? Right, who are sort of watching the page and watching for edits. But the flaw in that, and I think especially with this because the stakes are so high, is clearly there's going to have to be somebody watching it all the time from now on. Right. And that kind of concerns me. Like who's going to be literally the watchdog? Like who's going to do that? So yeah.
And you know what the sad part is? Just like with every tragedy, it would eventually become something where we push to the side and don't care about as much as we did in the moment of it. There will be something else that will overshadow it, and then it will be left behind. And
right, exactly. And that's my worry, is like these men are basically going to become footnotes in their own story. And that's just, I don't understand.
And maybe that's why I'm leaning more towards how YouTube is working now, because that's visual content that people can see. There's really no way to edit. I don't know if there is. I mean, but once it's out there from what I gather. So maybe that'll be the only thing that really keeps it alive, is the actual footage. And the sad part is there's plenty of that. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, there are people who will look at the footage and say, oh, well, he was resisting. Like, there are people right now that will argue, till their last breath that, he was resisting arrest, and they were right for choking him, piling on and choking him. So,
It's all perception. All perception. Right. It's a tough one in this world.
Yes. Well, now that I've depressed everyone. No, actually, you did, because you chose this story.
My bad.
So let's see. Okay, so now we have Amber Rose, or we have some good news about Rihanna.
Let's do Riri.
Okay. Well, Miss Riri has just become the first ever Black ambassador for Christian Dior, the fashion house. I want to say this week. Yeah, this week it was announced that she's going to become the ambassador for the brand, which is kind of like their spokesperson or the face of the brand. And it's Christian Dior, so they're like very high-end, very luxury. Other celebrities who have been recent spokesmodels have been Jennifer Lawrence, Natalie Portman, Marion Cotillard. So it's a big deal, especially if you're into fashion. But Rihanna is the first ever African American, or the first ever Black. I think it's definitely the first African American, but the first Black woman to ever become the spokesperson for the brand. So congratulations to Miss Riri.
Kudos.
So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's beautiful. It's beautiful. One, her growth. I think that her as an artist, she's really transitioned. And no, she's not going to be Beyonce, but what I like is she steps in her own lane, and she has stayed true to herself, you know, and I think she represents fashion in a sense that color doesn't even become an issue with her. Like, you just see a beautiful young lady who represents and does it her way, and I love that boldness about her. So I think that it's awesome to see her being a part of that, one, because of cultural, you know, she's representing, but I think also, if you think about Rihanna almost falls in that category where young ladies don't see color. You know what I'm saying? They just see beauty, and she's really grown, and she's, you know, and the best success, the best way to get revenge is success. So I'm just saying, for her to be doing so well and some particular young man not doing as well, it's just good for her. And she's got some eye candy Leo so on her side. Isn't that the best revenge?
Okay, so I heard about, so is that a thing? Like, I heard that, but I wasn't sure if it was true, if it was just like more rumor. So is that a thing? Because if so, you go, girl.
I like it. Look, so after, Leo's always been cute, but I think after Wolf of Wall Street, I was like, I'd holler.
I didn't like him in that because he was so sleazy, but I have liked him a lot. He's very talented. I liked him in the what was the movie? Gatsby. I thought he was really, really cute in that. In The Great Gatsby.
Don't shoot me. I have not seen that movie. I still have not seen it. Everybody tells me it's a great movie, and I still have not got on the bandwagon. My bad, y'all. But no. Kudos to Riri.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, to get back on topic. Congrats to Ms. Riri. That is, I mean, I think it's awesome. I think she's definitely, I think she's becoming just as known for her fashion as she is for, like, her music. Yeah. And, like, anytime you see her photograph, like, bold and daring fashion choices, but also, like, she just looks good. She looks amazing. So I think it's but I like that she's putting brown girls on the map. Like, I like that, you know, that an African American model is the spokesperson for this major international brand. Like, I love that, and I want to see more of that. Like, I put that in the same league as, like, Lupita and her being repping Lancome. Like, that's major. That's pretty major.
Those are wins.
Yeah, I think it's exciting. I can't wait to see what the campaign looks like.
And it's good for her image. It's good for her image.
Right. Definitely. And, like, I'm just looking at the photo that was on, I think this was a post on whowhatwear.com. And just even in this simple little burgundy dress, she's stunning. She's really beautiful. So yeah, couldn't have happened to a more deserving young brownie. So congratulations to Miss Rihanna. I'm very excited. Can't wait to see what the campaign looks like. Can't wait. I think it's probably going to be sickening. And a certain young man,
he will be sick.
Who's now a baby daddy, will be sick. Yes.
Pop will be sick.
We're so petty. Shame on us.
Right. We're like everyone else. Team petty. I like it. Oh, speaking of petty, give me your views on this whole blurred lines. The gay family versus Pharrell and Robin Thicke. Who do you think is Team Petty?
Well, I mean, okay. I never thought that the song really sounded like Marvin Gaye until all of this came up. And so now I'm like, okay, yeah, it kind of does sound like that. But, to be quite honest, I did not expect the case to go the way that it did. I didn't expect Pharrell and, what's the boy? Robin. I didn't expect them to lose. Like, I really didn't. I was really surprised when the judgment came down and the judge was like, yeah, you owe them $7 million.
But you know
so, what? I don't know. Go ahead.
Here's the gag. They were the ones. Pharrell and Robin Thicke's camp were the ones who initiated the lawsuit.
Oh, were they?
Yes. It basically came that the gay family stepped up to the plate and made a comment and referenced it and kind of like scratched the whole idea of this may be my father's music. And then they came out, the Pharrell and Robin Thicke came at them with the lawsuit. I guess thinking they could shut them down in the beginning. And it turned out, no, boo-boo, you got shut down.
So then they countersued.
Yes. And won. That's how I think
But yeah,
it was the lawyer who did the interview. That's the gag.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm team Robin Thicke and Pharrell, and I'm going to tell you why.
Wow. I didn't know that. Well.
So, true enough, they should really feel like ass right now because they now have to pay 7.3 when they could have probably settled outside of court. But my thing is...
Well, it sounds like there wouldn't have been a court if they hadn't come after the gay family. Like, they wouldn't have to pay anything if they had just...
The gay family kind of started it, but they didn't go to court.
Hello? You're breaking up.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay. So the gay family inquired about it first, but they were not the first ones to go to court, from what I gathered from. And this was their lawyer speaking, you know. So it could have been settled outside of court, but Pharrell and Robin's team, their camp, advised them to go to court. So that's where it flipped. But my thing is, even with Sam Smith and was it Tom Petty, I believe? I think he just had to pay him money. Don't quote me on that, but Sam Smith just had to pay someone money for one of his songs because it slightly sounded the same. And no, I'm not a music person on the sense of I can't read music to compare, but I think it's a challenge to be creative and not have some form of inspiration from somewhere.
Right.
And unless you're using verbatim hooks and whatever the terminologies are, I think it's unfair that the family who did not create, let's be honest, because Marvin been gone for a while, they were not the creators, and not only that, the creator, he's not even here to say whether it's like his or inspired by his, but I just feel like it's just going to really bring down music even more. I think music is suffering now as we see it, and it's kind of building back up. So I feel like people who are really creative and true artists are going to have an even harder time being creative without fear of I could be sued later. You know what I'm saying? So we'll probably get some more.
I do.
I feel that. I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't feel, it's hard to feel bad for a couple of millionaires, first of all.
True.
But I mean, this is one of the subjects I teach in my class, is that all art, no matter what form, whether it's music or whatever, all art is derivative. Like, it all kind of copies in some way, or is influenced in some way by some other art that came before it. So the challenge is deciding when it stops being inspiration and starts being copying. And that's really subjective. Like, that's, I think you could get, 100 people in a room at one point and they would say that it's, a blank copy, just a bald-faced copy, and then you get another 100 in the room, people in a different room at the same time, and they would say, oh, it's just fine, it's legitimate. Like, I think it's highly, highly subjective. As far as this song, I mean, it was all over the place everywhere. Was it last summer or summer before last? Mm-hmm. And, like, it never occurred to me that it sounded like, what is it, Give It Up? Like, it never occurred to me that it sounded like that until this case. But after hearing them side by side, they did sound the same to me. Like, the music sounded like the exact same to me. And again, I'm not a musical expert. I'm not, I don't play an instrument or read music, which my high school music teacher will be kind of disappointed that I said that. But like, just listening to them side by side, and they do sound the same to me. So, well, and I'm all for being creative and being inspired, but I mean, it sounds like a copy to me. Like, and even if they weren't like mega successful, rich millionaires, like, I feel like I would still feel the same. I would have maybe a little bit more sympathy for them, but I would still feel the same way. Like, okay, well, if you take somebody else's stuff, even if that somebody is dead, in fact, especially if that somebody is dead, because you tried to steal from a dead man. So, I don't know. I guess I'm team gay family. I guess.
Blurred lines.
I guess it's team gay family.
Well, we're all blessed with opinions and whatnots, and obviously the gay family won. So, at the end of the day, the team won.
Well, I'm sure it won't end there. I'm pretty sure there'll be an appeal. Like, I would almost bet on it.
Well, the way
if for nothing else than to get the settlement down, like, I would think even just for that there would be some sort of continuing action. Because I just can't see. I can't see them coughing up $7 million.
Well,
just like
there was something on TMZ. Now, TMZ, you got to be careful with their information, but the gay family, they're out for revenge. Like, they're not only getting Pharrell together, they're trying to get some other people together. And I'm like, sit your ass down somewhere. Because I'm like, you didn't write down one
they're
piece
on a mission now. Like, okay.
Yeah, then it got cocky. So they
they're like, okay, well, this worked. So
yeah, they coming for everybody, and that's when
I did like hear their right.
Yeah,
I did hear their statement, and it was like, okay, the statement that they put out about, like, yeah, now we're not being persecuted or something crazy. And I was just like, okay, girl, okay, y'all doing a lot.
I heard they were notorious for that.
Yeah,
now. I heard the gay family were notorious for suing people or getting people together. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Why am I holding this up like this helps?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Am I delayed?
A little bit of a delay, yeah.
Oh, girl. The smooth. Anyway. No, what I was saying is I've heard that the gay family, they are notorious for coming for people when it comes to anything. Yeah, this isn't their first rodeo. Like, they stay on the books of getting folks together. So that's why I'm saying I'm leery of that family, because they're notorious for it, from what I heard.
Well, I mean,
but didn't write one piece of music. Didn't sing not one song. I'm just saying. Didn't hum a tune at all.
What is their estate? I mean, do they not have the right to the creative output of their?
I'm not gonna lie. If it were my daddy, if it were my daddy, I would want the money. I agree. If it were me, I won't want my
Right.
cat.
Right.
Team bloodlines, but I get
girl,
it.
they got to buy their plane. Shoot.
That's right. Get everybody a fur coat.
They got to, ride in style like the dollars, like the
That's
dollar
right.
and company.
So I'm not gonna hate.
It'll be interesting.
I get why they.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. That will be interesting to see if they win any more cases, or if more cases like this sort of turn out the same way. Be interesting. There will definitely be some implications for artists. Yeah. So.
It'll put a little fear on people, I think.
Copyright. It's a bitch.
I agree. I like that. You should hashtag that. Right. Claim it before somebody pisses you off. Take it. It's yours, Tamika.
Right. Hey, I own the trademark for that. Okay.
That's right.
If you steal it, I will come for you.
3, 14, 15.
I want my $7 million.
That's right.
Oh man. So, all right. Well, do you want to talk about Amber Rose, or you want to wrap it up now, or?
Let's give Amber her.
Or we could talk about Iran. No, that's too heavy. We'll save Iran for another day.
Yeah.
But there's some foolishness going on there too. Some serious side-eye foolishness. But,
yeah. I ain't ready.
Okay, so let us talk about Amber Rose and rap's slut-shaming epidemic.
AKA
so there was an
Mubba.
article. Mother knows, child.
Yes, Mubba.
So we all heard about the whole, kerfluffle between Amber Rose and the Kardashian family. So this past week, about a week ago, about a week ago, the writer Stereo Williams posted an article on the Daily Beast, and he's kind of going through the whole history of slut-shaming that seems to be epidemic in hip-hop, and how, basically the point of his article is how, Amber Rose is, about how both Kim Kardashian and Amber Rose sort of have colorful pasts, let's just say that. Colorful pasts are very sexually expressive pasts. I'm trying to be PC here, but basically they have their sexual exploits are public. Let's just say that. Amber Rose has a history of a stripper. Kim has a very famous sex tape that she's parlayed into an entire empire for herself and her family. But how in popular media, and especially in hip-hop, we sort of trash Amber Rose for her history while we celebrate Kim Kardashian for hers. And so, yeah, it's kind of talking about that, and how, Kanye's statements about how, any man that's with Amber Rose is sort of dirty afterwards, which is interesting coming from him, considering he used to be with Amber Rose. So very big double standards there. It's a really interesting article. It's in the Daily Beast, and it's called Amber Rose and Rap's Slut-Shaming Epidemic. It makes some very interesting points. So I guess I will kick it over to you. Do you have any thoughts about that? Do you think that hip-hop has a history of slut-shaming? Or are we all just too sensitive?
No. I think that they do, and I think sometimes, if you think about it, Amber Rose was everything to him at one point. She was his support at one point in his life when he was really acting out, and right after his mom passed. So I feel that song Gold Digger that he made? I think that he's really giving us his life in that, because at the end where he said, work real hard, he's going to be on the fries, and one day he's going to leave your ass for a white girl. he was speaking that to her. You know what I'm talking about?
That is brilliant. I've never thought about that. Oh my God. Wow. So he told on himself like 10 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, he's been insightful for many years on this. So he's just living his truth. And I do feel it's sad that, okay, here's my breakdown on it. So when it all started to happen and unravel, I felt like, okay, I understand where he's coming from with defending his wife, because it all began from The Breakfast Club. I love The Breakfast Club. Watch it every chance I get, and it's on YouTube. And so it all started when Amber was really basically saying how she was hating on Tyga. Now, I hope I'm not confusing the world with all these Thug Thizzle names, but Tyga was messing with the little Jenner girl. And Amber was just saying, you know, he should be at home with a grown woman, etc., instead of messing with this little girl. And then Chloe had to put her 2 cents and come with her Thug Thizzle, and Amber, or as she referred to herself, mother, shut her down real quick. And then when she shut her down, she had to bring up the fact, look at your sister before you come for me. Look at what's in your circle, talking about Kim. And so I feel like Kanye's a man as a husband, shouldn't really address it, but kind of protect his wife's name. I get that, because that's his wife now. However, how should I say this? I think that men have been doing this for years with white girls, black girls, light-skinned girls, dark-skinned girls. It's a breakdown of what's lighter and whiter. I don't know. I think it's been going on, but now I think even the light-skinned girls are starting to catch the hell. And now that Kim K sets this whole precedence of what beauty is supposed to be, I'm trying to stay on the subject at hand. I think that the whole slut-shaming thing is always going to be around. And I feel like as soon as Kanye goes through the hell with Kim, he'll slut-shame her. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's more ego. I don't think it's slut-shame. I think it's ego. To break it down, is if a dude gets his feelings hurt, he's going to come for a girl.
Right, that's true. And I definitely do think it's ego, but, like, there's a couple things to unpack here. First, like, we're talking about Kanye. I mean, it's Kanye. Who is known for saying crazy shit as he is for rapping. I'm sorry, forgive my language. But, like, it's Kanye. So there's always that element in it. But the larger issue here, which I think the writer is absolutely on point, is that there's a double standard. Like, okay, well, first of all, as a woman, like, women in general aren't free to be explicit or to be promiscuous if they choose to or whatever without being judged. Just women in general, all women. Black women in particular face it even harder. Like, and I think hip-hop is famous for this. Like, I feel like it's baked in. Like, there's this culture of misogyny and slut-shaming where you have women that you exploit for their sexuality and you celebrate for their sexuality. Oh, but they're thoughts and ratchets and hoes and any other number of expletives you can think of.
I agree.
Girls. For the same things that you trash black girls for doing. Which is, honestly, if you really want to be fair, it's the same shit you're doing. So how do you call a woman that you dated a slut? What does that make you? How does that not make you a slut too? I don't understand that. But it's this crazy culture, and I feel like rap and I feel like it's epidemic. Like the article actually uses the word epidemic. Like, I feel like it's baked into the culture, and there's this whole just system of viewing black women and however they express it. Like, there's this extra layer of judgment that other women don't have to face, and that is ridiculous. It's not fair at all, regardless of what, you know. And I'm not making an article. I'm not making an argument to go judged for that harsher than anybody else, even other women. Like that's crazy to me. I don't understand.
Yeah. And I don't know. And I guess the reason why I lean towards ego so much is because at one point they put these women on pedestals. And then as soon as things don't go their way, then all of a sudden the slut shaming comes in. But, you know, women are just as bad as slut shaming the next woman. And it's like, damn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't even slut shame Amber because I guess I look at it from perspective of everyone has a past. And I'm not judging her on her past because at the end of the day, she made her hustle work. And
right.
I don't even judge Kim on her past. I mean, okay, let me take that back because I'm lying. I don't judge her in the sense of, like, get your hustle on, do what you do. But what I do get a little irritated with is, like you said, that double standard of she can do it, but I can't do it. And I feel like as women, if we're going to do it, I don't want it to be a separation. It's just like another breakdown. Because, like I've told y'all several times, I feel like there's a breakdown in the black community. Now we got to deal with some other breakdown. It's like it's too much. And it just, like, keeps putting women of color on these totem poles. You know what I'm saying? Like, who really gets a chopping block, who gets semi-touched, and then who can be put on this pedestal. It's like it shouldn't even be that way. So.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like, you got your wife types, and then at the bottom you got your thoughts, and it's like, well, wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah.
But
you're right. I agree that even other women tend to slut shame. Yeah, it is. It really is. So yeah, so that is that was in the Daily Beast, and it was published. It kind of delves into sort of the history of slut shaming and double standards in hip hop. It's a very interesting read, so I advise folks to check it out.
But what I will say,
and it's by
I'm happy that Amber is, no matter what and no matter who comes for her, she shuts their asses down. And I think that very few people are strong enough to hold on.
I will, and I applaud that too. But I feel like there's a cost there. Like I feel like again, as
I missed you. I lost you on that. Hello?
No. Yeah. Hello?
Okay, now what did you say? Because I lost you.
Oh, no, I was saying that, I applaud her, too, for, getting back with them, for clapping back. But I feel like even that, like, freedom to get angry publicly. Because then you become the stereotype of the angry black woman, of the bitch, of the, any number of expletives you could think of. But, and again, she's just coming for the people that came for her. But, that's another double standard that exists for women of color, is you can't be angry publicly. You have to take whatever anybody feels like dishing out. And that's BS. That's ridiculous.
Even when you look at Wiz, he's doing the same thing. He put on a pedestal, and now that he's mad at her, his ego hurt. Now he's coming for her too. And I'm like, hold on, Amber. Just hold on. So.
Right. Well, this has been a very interesting episode. I guess we're going to save our discussion of Kindred for yet another week. So looks like we won't choose a selection for the month of March. We'll just pick it up next month with a new book. So, did you have anything you wanted to plug or anybody you wanted to shout out or anything you wanted to?
Hope everyone has a good week, and thank you, Ms. Tamika, for having this forum set up for us this week. Thank you, girl.
No problem. Well, with that, I will